Yes.
Now, there's postpartum depression, there's postpartum anxiety, and there's postpartum OCD. Please explain to us the difference between all of them.
Okay, anxiety is a normal worry that happens to everybody. Like you're worried if your baby sleeps at night, may not wake up. So that's just a normal anxiety. Now it becomes OCD when that becomes like one thing that you think about constantly. Like for example, when you go to lay the baby to the bed, you run very fast to check whether the door is closed because you're afraid somebody is likely to harm the baby. Or you're constantly checking the baby. You cannot sleep the whole night because you're afraid that the baby will die at night. So that becomes now compulsive because you're constantly engaging yourself with that activity. Yeah.
Can you get postpartum before you give birth?
Post. So post already.
I know, but can you have the anxiety before?
It's possible to have the anxiety. For example, if you have what we call general anxiety, or you have been diagnosed with depression before you deliver your baby, so you are likely to experience, yes, a lot of emotional changes and thoughts which are similar to post-depression. So you are postpartum depression. So you are likely to go through that, but not exactly as when, because postpartum is basically about the baby.
Right.
Okay, it's not about you as a person, it's about a baby. Even though at times you may feel like no one cares, no one loves me, no one is there to support me, my husband is not constantly there to help me, you may have those feelings, but basically it's all about the baby, it's around the baby, yeah.
Okay, what about much later on? Let's say you give birth and you're okay, everything is fine, and then probably like 6 months down the line, you start feeling this depression. Is that the same thing as postpartum, or is that just your own issues that you're going through?
It could be, but basically depression will appear shortly after you have delivered the baby. But for some reason, some people may have those kind of symptoms later on, even after 6 months. I have seen clients basically who exhibit such symptoms even after 6 months.
Okay.
Yes.
And what did you say the symptoms are? What should one look out for?
There's that constant anxiety, and there's compulsive, obsessive, where you're constantly checking on whether the baby is alive or not, and constantly checking at the window whether probably there's no one who is coming to hurt your baby. If you see those things, then some other times you can have, you're incapacitated completely inside you to be able to take care of the baby. Like you cannot love your baby, so that becomes an issue.
All right, we have John from Likoni calling in. John, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What questions do you have for the doctor?
I would like to know the signs of this depression.
The signs of?
Depression.
The signs of depression. All right, thank you very much. All right, let's just go through that. What are the signs of depression?
Yeah, more of the signs, I think I mentioned some in the beginning, but some others that probably have not mentioned is, for example, where you notice that you cannot engage into social activity simply because you have own feelings. Like, for example, you feel your self-esteem is very low and you cannot appear in front of people. Some other times you may have, it could be just a phobia, but when it's constantly bothering you, then it can be a sign of depression as well. The other thing, surprisingly, that may cause a depression that many people don't talk about, for example, where you're feeling like you're not fulfilled in life, you have not achieved whatever it is that you wanted to achieve, therefore you can you can exhibit the same symptoms of depression.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.